Joined by the MD of Quartz Cable, that's Mr. Sawhney. Hi, Mr. Sawhney. Thanks so much, sir, for joining in. What's the buzz on the stock, sir? There are various news reports that indicate maybe there is some kind of resolving payment issues, dues, etc. Give us a sense. Were there any issues in the first place? And if you could tell us, what is the payment schedule? What is the debt in your books currently?
You see, I in fact purchased the equity stakes of my colleague about 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. That was the issue, you see, and we have now come over and left behind the issue of takeover and all that. Company is fully geared up, very well-knit company right now, and on the growth path right at this moment.
Okay. Mr. Sawhney, just for the benefit of our viewers, if you could tell us currently what is the receivable situation in the company's books, how many days, and secondly, if you could give us the latest updated debt figures.
See, debt figure is around about 4 months, 3 to 4 months receivables. That kind of a situation is there. That was mainly on account of our reliance on the power sector,
right?
Which was to the tune of about 40% about 3 years ago. Consciously, we have taken a decision to bring down, you see, and this year it may be around 25 to 30% exposure.
Okay.
So power sector means, you see, it is not a direct order from BHL and NTPC all the time. There is a chain, you see. There is a chain from BHL to second, third, and we come in the third or fourth link of a chain.
Okay.
So it takes, you see, time in getting the material inspected, dispatch, and the receivable part also. And the normally terms are 90-10%. 10% comes after 6 months or 8 months, something of that sort. So consciously we have moved out trying to reduce our exposure in the power sector. And this coming fiscal, you see, not coming fiscal, the current fiscal, our exposure should get reduced from 30% to 15 to 20%.
Oh.
And we are moving towards, you see, the more exposure in the hydrocarbons, more exposure in the industry sector, freight corridors, metros, and we are trying to develop, you see, cables for the special need of the industry.
Fantastic.
Instead of except, you see, the tailor-made power cables and electrical cables or control cables.
Correct.
We have a team, you see, where very well knit team.
Right.
So
Mr.
we are
Sawhney,
trying to...
Yeah, Mr. Sawhney, we get that point. You're quite keen in terms of the operational performance of the business, which is very good. And the stock, in fact, is reflecting that because it's up close to around 20% just in the last 1 month. What we want to understand, sir, is what is your current capacity utilization levels? If you could tell us that first.
It's around 50 to 55%.
50 to 55%. Can you do are you looking at, increasing that to around 70, 80%? Is that possible in the coming fiscal?
You see, current fiscal itself, you see, we are confident of a growth of around 20%.
20%. All right. So you'll
business environment is conducive. It's very good. Organization is fully ready to cash on the opportunities which are available right now.
Correct.
Okay. So you spoke about, to my earlier question, you spoke about the receivables being at 3 to 4 months, but it could come down because of your, increasingly lower exposure to the power sector. What about
Not only power sector, we are now, as I told you, gradually switching over from certain traditional sectors to the new sector.
Okay, fair enough.
Where you see, we can expect, you see, a better margins and better terms also.
Okay, so receivables will come down from the current 3 to 4 months. If you could once again, just tell us the debt on the books. I must have missed that figure because the interest burden is still quite high on the company's books. And what is the plan to reduce it, sir?
Readily, madam, it is not available with me. I am on the mobile phone. I reach you see from my outstation tip today itself. So I'm afraid I don't have the figures right now.
All right, sir. But you were saying also that margins will improve. You're doing around 10.7%. So just to get the numbers right, sir, I think you will end up this year with what? With close to around 300 crores as revenue? Is that number right?
It should be. Last year we did around 283. This year the growth should be over 13%.
Over 13%. So you'll do more than 310 crores. And you're saying on that you'll do 20%, right? So FY18, you should be in the vicinity of around 370 crores approximately.
Very right, sir.
Right. And also margins, you were saying that they're likely to be accretive.
Definitely, EBITDA should be better even this fiscal, you see.
Okay.
It should be better than the last fiscal.
Okay.
And the current fiscal, definitely it should further improve.
To what, 11%? It's 10.7%.
This fiscal itself, rather the fiscal which we have closed already, results are, you see, I do not, it may take its own time, you see, maybe between 10 to 11%. And the current fiscal, it should further improve.
Wow.
Percentage, I cannot comment. It's too early for me to comment on the new fiscal EBITDA, but definitely I can say absolute term it should be better than the last fiscal.
So traditionally you focused on power, oil and gas, infrastructure, etc. But now you're talking about focusing on the new age businesses, which can help you improve your margins. What are these, new age businesses? What are the kind of margins you enjoy on that, on the voltage cables that you supply to them?
So see, it's basically, as I shared with you, we are into the specialty cables.
Right.
Up till now, we were giving the standard cables to the customer. That was about 4 or 5 years ago. Gradually, conscious shift was taken place. So because of the certain specialized needs of the customers, so we are not going by the RFQ received from the customer. We are offering the solution to the customer's problem. And thereby, you see, getting the tailor-made, giving the tailor-made cables, giving, you see, the new polymers also, the new processes also, you see.
Okay.
There are certain constraints, you see. By adding small new processes, adding new polymers,
Correct.
we are able to meet the specialized needs of the industry. Thereby getting, you see, the better margins and the better terms also.
You're right. Who is your competitor, sir?
We are having, you see, a lab cable is the main competitor because there is another cable manufacturer, KI, but I think their main focus is not the specialty cables, to the best of my knowledge.
Right. Do you have, sir, any non-core assets that you can divest to something? Is there anything in the company's books? Non-core assets, something that you can sell and reduce your debt. Is it? Do you have anything in your books?
We are having a surplus land mass, you see.
Okay, what is that? If you could give us the quantum and tell us, what is the value of it?
You see, again, it is not for me to. I do not know the value right now.
But is it on the cards to sell this surplus land?
No. We are not thinking. We have a surplus land mass wherever we are in Kairani plant we are operating. It's a land mass of 17, 18 acres. We are utilizing 1/3 of that only at this moment.
Okay. But what are your plans to utilize the rest of it? Or are you just going to keep it idle?
Another, you see, whatever we are having, similar kind of a thing, we are having some plans, you see, to utilize that particular area. But right now, I am not in a position to comment.
Fair enough.
These are.
Okay, Mr. Sawhney, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much.